We are already going into week 10 of the NFL season. Another team has been washed up this week. Only one team this week is the Miami Dolphins. This is not Mike McDaniel's fault. Don't blame it on him. It's Tua's fault. The Dolphins will never come out of the washed up set, the spot. They'll never come back out of the beach for the rest of the season, just like all the other teams that become washed up. Going in now to my power rankings at number 28 is the Bengals. This Bengals offense continues to shine, but the only reason that they're on the power rankings still and not washed up is that Joe Burrow has a chance to come back. If he didn't have a chance, well, he actually is coming back. He should be towards the middle of December, but if he had no chance to come back, this team would be washed up already. Let's see if they can get enough wins to where when he does come back, he can actually fight for the playoffs. If they would have won this week, they would have actually been in pretty good position to make that fight, but it's going to be pretty tough now. At number 27, it's the Browns. They're going to be washed up soon, too. If the offense doesn't show me something special this week, the Browns will be washed up at the end of this week, unfortunately for me. Number 26 is the Cardinals. Good win for the Cardinals. Huge game for Marvin Harrison. That's what I want to see out of my Ohio State wide receiver. Number 26 for the Cardinals. Number 25 is the Commanders. Why do you have Jaden Daniels in the game down 31 points with 7 minutes to go? You're not coming back from 31 down with 7 minutes left. He's already had, I think 3 injuries this year. He had injury problems last year. A stupid, horrendous decision by the coach to put Jaden Daniels in and keep him in right there. There's no excuse. There's no, oh, they need to go for the win. I don't want to hear. There's no good reason for Jaden Daniels to be in the game right there. The Commanders just cost themselves their season. There goes my Super Bowl pick for this year. But hey, this is a good opportunity for me to get a new Super Bowl pick. I don't have one yet, but maybe I'll come out with a new Super Bowl pick in the next week because my Commanders, my pick, are done now. Number 24 is the Raiders. Brock Bowers comes back. I almost said Brock Purdy. Bowers comes back, has a huge game, but the Raiders still barely win. They're at number 24. Giants at number 23. Unfortunately, like I said last week, this team has dealt with so many injuries. Number 22 is the Vikings. Did a big win over the Lions, but I need to see more from them in the next few weeks to move them up a lot. Number 21 is the Panthers, going up 4 spots. Now, last week I told you, if they use Rico Dowdle and Bryce Young comes back, this team's going to be a lot better than where they're ranked at. And Rico Dowdle shows you. So when the Panthers give the ball to Rico Dowdle, when they hand the ball off to him at least 15 times in a game, they are 4-0. They score 21.5 points per game, and they rush as a team as a whole for 185.8 yards per game. And you can see right there what they do when they don't give him at least 15 carries. It's not pretty for them when they don't. So when this team uses Dowdle and they have Bryce Young, they're actually showing us that they're a lot better than what they looked like in the beginning of the season. It reminds me of last year when they kind of started to put it on late season. Number 20 is the Steelers. All right, the defense showed me something that game. If the defense can keep playing like that, the Steelers team is going to have a real chance to make the playoffs and win that division. Number 19 is the Bears. They go down a spot. They get the win, but an ugly win. I didn't want to see that from the Bears. Number 18 is the Cowboys. They just move right past the Bears. They did lose to the Bears early in the season, but it's very close between these two teams. I decided to give the Cowboys the edge. Number 17 is the Broncos. Oh, you know what? I want to add about the Cowboys. That was this is a terrible rule that when you put the ball for Pickens, put the ball in the DB's face. That's what was it, 10, 15-yard penalty for taunting. So guys, we're going out here and we're trying to hit these guys so hard that we break their leg, and we just want to beat them up. And you can slap someone open hand to the face and it's all right. But if you put that ball in front of their face, man, that's gonna really hurt his feelings, man. If you put that ball in front of his face, please don't do that. What are we doing right now, NFL? Let's change that rule. But anyway, number 17 is the Broncos. Yeah, they've had some great comebacks, but if they're gonna want to win big, meaningful games later this year, they're gonna need to play great all 4 quarters. The Broncos have not been impressing me with their play in the first 3 quarters lately. Number 17 for the Broncos. All right. Number 16, halfway through, is the Texans. And I want to remind you that you can email me in the description an audio message or a video. Only the audio will be used if you have a reaction to my takes, and I will talk about it in my next video. Number 16 is the Texans. They move up 4 spots. They almost beat the Broncos without CJ Stroud. But when Stroud and Nico Collins have been in playing together this year, they've created more and more momentum. If they can both stay healthy and continue to play with each other, this Texans team might get on a little bit of a hot streak going into late season. Number 15 is the Falcons, moving up 2 spots. This team can't decide if they want to be a good team or a bad team this year. This is probably the most inconsistent team this NFL season. Number 14 is the Jaguars, going down 3 spots. They lose Travis Hunter for a while now, and BTJ has not been playing like I thought he would this year. Brian Thomas has been dealing with a lot of injuries. They just announced that he has another injury this morning, and I think they should let the guy rest for a week. I mean, every week they're talking about he has something. Give the guy a week off before he gets his season ended. So number 14 is the Jaguars. They have to move down. After I finished recording, the Jaguars traded for Jacoby Myers. That's exactly what they needed. I was just talking about how Travis Hunter was out. Brian Thomas wasn't playing the way I expected him to this year. So this brings so much more life to the team. I'm very excited for this addition for the Jaguars. Great trade as my initial reaction. I got to look into the trade a little more, but just getting Myers is a great move for them, and I'm excited to watch them next week. Number 13, going up 3 spots, is the Chargers. They're at 6-3. They're fighting to win that division, but it's going to be a tough schedule ahead for the Chargers. Their next games, I'll read them to you out in order. They play the Steelers, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Texans, and the Broncos. Now, the Eagles and the Chiefs, I will tell you right now, they're in my top 10, and you can see where everyone else has been ranked so far. So this is a pretty good schedule they have to play, pretty good teams they have to play for the rest of the year. And it's going to be tough for them to go out and win this division, but they are 13th team in my power rankings, and they are 6-3 right now. Let's see if the Chargers can go out and win their division this year. Number 12 is the 49ers, moving up 2 spots. Now, the 49ers, what could they have been without all these injuries this year? I really wonder. Number 11 is the Colts. Guys, the Colts are 7-1. They have to be the best team in the league. Everybody knows that the best record just means you're the best team. If you're 7-1, you're the best team. Give them the Super Bowl, guys. You know what? Pre-order the blue confetti. Pre-order the Jonathan Taylor MVP shirts. Get Daniel Jones the Super Bowl MVP trophy, and let's get the parade going. Let's tell Disneyland, because the Colts are gonna win the Super Bowl. Oh wait, I told you last week to hold your horses. Look at who they played. Now they're 7-2. They don't have the best record in the league anymore. I wonder where everyone's gonna start ranking the Colts. Like I said last week, they're still a great team. I have them at 11, but they're just not in my top 10 right now. I could understand if they're at the bottom of your top 10, but number 1 was just insane to have the Colts set. And by the way, once again, I told you to hold your horses. Here's that graphic from last week. Then, on Sunday Night Football, I'm watching. I got NBC taking my graphic. Here's NBC telling you to hold your horses. Come on, NBC. You're a week late on this. I told you that before the game. You guys are telling this to everyone after the game. Let's go, guys. Make sure you pay attention to me, because I'm letting you know what's going to happen before the games. I'm telling you to hold your horses. Don't listen to NBC. They're copying me. All right, NBC, I'll give you that one. But just, NBC, please, just let me have my graphics from now on, okay? Don't take my graphics anymore, NBC. So right after I finished recording, the Colts traded for Sauce Gardner. A huge addition for the Colts. I barely decided to not move him up, but that definitely, obviously, makes this team so much better. They needed a big addition on defense. They got that. Now, the only thing holding this team back now is Daniel Jones. This really improves the Colts. I'm very excited to see what they can do the rest of the year with Sauce, and I want to see how great he can play coming into a new team so late in the season. Number 10 is the Patriots, moving up 3 spots. They're into my top 10 now. They have a very tough game this week, though, against the Buccaneers. Let's see if they can solidify their top 10 status against the Buccaneers this week. Number 9 is the Seahawks. They get a big win over the Commanders, and they take the Commander spot at number 9. Another trade that went through right after I finished recording this video. The Seahawks get Rashid Shaheed, a huge addition to this offense. Another big trade from a contender. Now, they already have Kupp. They already have, obviously, Njigba. So adding Shaheed, adding the deep threat, that is so impactful for them. That is going to help out this offense so much. They're going to be so scary on offense. It didn't make me change my ranking on them. Just like the Colts, I already had the Colts at 11. I already had the Seahawks at 9. But this is definitely a huge pickup for the Seahawks. I can't wait to see how their offense is going to play in the next upcoming weeks to finish out the season. Number 8 is the Buccaneers. They stay right where they are. And I said it last week, I'll say it again. The Buccaneers will probably go back into my top 5 once Bucky Irving comes back. But as of right now, as of recording this video on the Tuesday morning, the Buccaneers have not released any new updates on Bucky Irving. And it's been pretty weird how we haven't had an update on him in a while. So I'm not going to jump the gun and say that he's going to be playing this week. Number 7 is the Packers, moving down 3 spots. Tucker Kraft is out for the rest of the season. That's a big blow for them. But they also have just not been playing to the level that they've been expected to this year. They've been playing to the level of their opponents every week, it seems like. Number 6 is the Eagles, staying right where they are off their bye week. Nothing changes for the Eagles as of right now. Okay, final last-minute addition here. I forgot to mention that the Eagles did trade for Jalen Phillips, but still, even with that good addition, still nothing changes for the Eagles power rankings wise for this week. Number 5 is the Ravens, going up 2 spots. Now, remember before the season, a lot of people had the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. I think they might have been the favorites, but a lot of people were picking them this year. That was a lot of people's go-to team. And it seems like everyone forgot about the Ravens after Lamar got injured. This team is still a great team when Lamar is there. I said it when he got injured. There's nobody else in the world with the skill set of Lamar Jackson, so you could not expect them to be close to what they were with him. And I think they're now a little underrated when he is back with the team. All right, number 4 is the Lions. They lose versus the Vikings. They move down a spot, but kind of like the Packers, they have not impressed me and lived up to kind of what the hopes were for them this season. Number 3 is the Bills, going into my top 3, moving up 2 spots. Now, the Bills, I expected this. They beat the Chiefs, or not that, I knew it was going to be a close game, but I don't know if I would say, yeah, the Bills are probably going to win that game, but it was close. They could have gone either way. I don't think anyone would have told you that I know this team is going to win. But what I was going to say, I'm not surprised at all, and nobody should be, because the Bills have beat the Chiefs 5 times in a row in the regular season. And the Chiefs are at number 2. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So why did the Bills not pass up the Chiefs? Well, they've beaten the Chiefs 5 times in a row in the regular season, but we know what they've done in the playoffs versus the Chiefs. So in the biggest moments, I still don't know if I can trust the Bills to beat the Chiefs. So they go to my number 3 spot. But all this talk about the great running backs of the league, you don't hear as much talk about James Cook, and you don't hear as much talk about Josh Allen running the ball, how he does it so well. And I wanted to point out that the Bills actually have the most rushing yards per game right now, and by a lot. The Jets at number 3. Wow, the Jets, I wouldn't have expected that before I looked at the stat. But the Jets at number 3 with 143.6 rushing yards per game. The Bears with 144.4 rushing yards per game. And the Bills way ahead with 161.5 rushing yards per game. So the Bills, their offense has just been smoking it lately, and the defense has been stepping up as well. They've been on a big old hot streak, but I could not move them up against the number 2 Chiefs, because the Chiefs, like I said, continue to show out and beat them in the playoffs and in big games. But yeah, so the Chiefs team is still right at my number 2 spot. They still have Mahomes, still my MVP. They stay where they are. Number 1 is the Rams, and I'm mad at Sean McVay, and I'm mad at the Rams because kind of like Jaden Daniels, when the Commanders didn't bring Jaden Daniels out, why do you have Puka, your star injury-prone wide receiver, running the ball, and I think it was a 4th and 1 when you're already up big against the Saints? This is a Week 9 game against the Saints that you're already pretty comfortable in, and you decide to get your wide receiver, your star wide receiver, maybe the best in the league, who was just injured, you decide to run the ball with him. Stupid, dumb. Let me know what other words you can come up with about the Rams running Puka Nacua on that play. Uh, pretty uh just a terrible move. That's a moron type move, all right? I'm going to call Sean McVay on that play. He was a little bit of a moron. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the league, which is why the Rams are at number 1 because of him. But that was a dumb decision by Sean McVay right there. Hopefully Puka can play this week. I expect him to, which is why I have the Rams at 1. But there is a big bright spot for the Rams this week. They have the second least points per game allowed this year. Their defense has been showing out all year. I've been talking about them all year. And yeah, you see the Chiefs right there also as well at number 3. So I have my top 2 teams. They've allowed they're in the top 3 for the least points allowed this year, with the Texans at 1. We know how good the Texans defense is, but the offensive line is not making it up for them. But yeah, the Rams and Chiefs right up there. Those elite defenses, with those elite quarterbacks, with those elite offenses. The Rams and Chiefs stay at my top 2 spots, and the Rams stay at my number 1 spot. Thank you so much for supporting the Sandbar Playbook. My name is Aidan Egizio. If you want to watch another video, you can click here. If you want to subscribe, you can click right here. So thank you so much. Make sure you comment what you thought, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.